How's everybody doing? Hey, first off, I just want to say, how about them Advil Panthers? And how about them Dixie Hornets? We got Dixie in here. Yeah. We're glad that everybody's in a good mood tonight. We're going to have a good time. We're going to start off with some worship. So we encourage you guys to stand up with us. You can sing along with us. You can come down front, whatever you want to do. And let's have a good time tonight.
And y'all stay right where you're at. We're going to go on into this next song, okay? And I want to hear y'all sing loud, all right? We got the words over here. If you want to see these words, if you don't know the words, go ahead and just look over here to the sides.
You stay the same.
guys can head back to your seats, we got a little video I want you guys to see here in just a minute. We'll wait till everybody gets down. Y'all did a great job singing. Give yourselves a hand because y'all sounded good. You clapped good. That's always good. Again, we want to welcome everybody tonight. This is Grace United Methodist Church. My name's Lee Collins. I'm the youth pastor here. We are excited to have y'all here. And again, we hope you guys have a good time the rest of the night. And Ben, whenever you get ready, brother, we'll roll that video.
Do you ever think about how much we base what we do on what other people are going to think? The things we say, the clothes we wear, the stuff we do? Why do we care so much about what other people think about us? Oh my gosh, what are you wearing?
Oh no, do you not like it?
The Titanic was less of a train wreck than your outfit. I personally hate it.
I guess I need to go buy some new clothes.
Yes, please do ASAP. I can barely stand the sight of you. You know, we only get so long to be on this earth, and we end up spending most of that time just trying to appease other people. Do I look cool in this sweater?
I mean, it makes you look like a grandpa.
Mind your manners, Missy. I'm about to go post a Twitter about you if you don't get off your high horse. Now I'm gonna have to go back to the Forever 81. Like, take this shirt, for example. I've had it for a very, very long time, and I've always wanted to wear it on the show, but I never have, because I'm scared that if I do, there's gonna be a top comment making fun of me, and there's gonna be a lot of likes on it. Or take my sister-in-law, Kelly, for example. She just cut her hair, and it looks really cute. But she's been getting comments on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram that say stuff like, "Oh no, you cut your hair!"
Yeah, I did. I love it.
But I don't. It looks so much better before. Seriously, why did you cut your beautiful locks?
Because I wanted to. I think it looks nice.
Well, you're wrong. It doesn't. It looked better before.
Well, you know, I have feelings too, right?
This is a great example of why you just should straight up not care what other people have to say about you. Who cares what other people think? Just be you. Hey, Kelly, I really like your hair.
Thank you.
But even if I didn't, it's clear that you really like the way you feel with short hair, so I'm glad you cut it.
Thank you. I don't base what I do on other people's opinions.
Super great. Wow, what a great way to live. So why do I let myself care so much about what other people are going to say or think about me? And more importantly, what would my life look like if I didn't care? Do I even know who I am apart from other people's expectations?
Welcome to the world as it should be, where you aren't pressured to fit someone else's view of you. Now tell me, what are your interests?
I've never thought about that before. I was just told to fit into this societal mold and be cool, get an education, get a good job so I can make good money.
Right. But what kinds of things interest you? What kinds of things make you feel alive?
I don't know. Huh.
All right.
Oh no, you cut your beautiful hair!
You know, that's one of those things where, that whole video is talking about opinions and how, opinions are kind of like ears, nose, and elbows. Everybody's got one. And I know a lot of us in here tonight probably have many opinions on many things. And we probably, I would dare say, have a ton more opinions on people. And matter of fact, there's probably people in this room here tonight that you may know that you may have opinions of. Maybe good, maybe bad, maybe in between, maybe good one day, bad the next. But everybody also has an opinion. Everybody has an opinion. Everybody, sometimes or another, at some point in their life, makes decisions or lives their life based on other people's opinions. And those other opinions can really direct your life. It can direct your life into a really, really good, clear path, or it can direct your life into a really, really cloudy, confusing path. Because sometimes we put a lot more stock in what other people's opinions are of ourselves rather than having enough confidence in who we are. Matter of fact, sometimes we'll go so far as to believe every single word, and we'll hang our own thoughts and decisions on every other word that somebody may tell us. Maybe a friend, maybe a boyfriend, maybe a girlfriend, and that's all we base our life on. And if their opinion doesn't match up, then we have to do something to fix it. So I'm here to tell you tonight that there is only one major opinion. When all's said and done, when all the smoke clears and dust settles, there's only one major opinion that really, really matters tonight. And that opinion is that there is a one opinion by God Almighty himself, and his opinion is this: he loves you exactly the way you are. He loves you exactly the way you are. He loves you exactly where you are right now, in this night, in this seat, where you're at, no matter what's been going on, no matter what you've been doing, what you've been talking, what you've been living it up, or whatever. He still loves you. And one of the things that we say here at Grace is it's okay to not be okay. When we walk through those doors, we know that God's going to meet us here. But we know also it's not, sometimes we're not okay with ourselves. It's okay tonight for you to be not okay. I want you to think about that as we talk about this message tonight. Because there was this lady that had an encounter with Jesus. And she had a lot of stuff going on. And a lot of stuff she had been basing on other people's opinions. And she had made some tough choices, some bad choices. And little did she know that one little innocent trip to a well was going to lead her to a life-changing experience where she would come face to face with Jesus Christ himself. It's a story you probably have heard many times. You probably have heard different versions. I'm just going to shoot straight from it tonight, and I'm going to kind of go right through it. I don't want to waste a lot of time tonight. I know you guys are excited to be here. I know you guys are also excited about getting ready for the weekend. But I do think that everybody in this room here tonight came for a reason, one reason or another. Could be various reasons, could be good reasons, might even be not so good reasons, but you're here. So you're not here by an accident. And here's the opinion that I want you to understand, that God's glad you're here. And hopefully, if you'll be focused on what's spoken tonight and what you've been hearing sung so far in these songs and the rest of the night, maybe God can speak to you right where you're at, and maybe that can cancel out some bad opinions that are holding you down right now. So tonight we're going to look at it in the book of John chapter 4, and I'm just going to go through these verses, and I want to go through this story with you, and I want to tell you about this lady. Okay? In John chapter 4, starting with verses 7 through 9, that's what we're going to look at first. It says this. It says, when a Samaritan woman came to draw water, Jesus said to her, will you give me a drink? His disciples had gone into town to buy food. The Samaritan woman said to him, you are a Jew and I am a Samaritan woman. How can you ask me for a drink? Because Jews did not associate with Samaritans. So this woman was a Samaritan. She was a member of a hated mixed race. Jews and Samaritans. They did not get along. They did not like each other. They didn't swap phone numbers. They didn't text regular. All that good stuff, okay? They were not best of friends. And this woman found it very strange that someone would be meeting her here. And here's the thing about it, is that no respectable Jewish man would have took the time to talk to a woman in these circumstances. But Jesus did, because the gospel that he was proclaiming at this point in his ministry, the gospel was for every person, no matter what their race was, no matter what their status was, no matter what things they had done wrong in their life. It wasn't about that. His love and his grace is unconditional, and he was meeting this woman right where she was at. So they had this meeting, and it crossed all barriers. Matter of fact, Jesus crossed a ton of barriers when he shared the gospel. He broke all the rules in the book. That's why the Pharisees and all the religious teachers could not figure him out. They were scratching their heads till they were bald. They couldn't understand what was going on with this guy who was doing everything that was against the protocol of back in the day. He broke every single rule, and because of love. Because his opinion mattered, because he cared for everybody just the way they were. We look on in verse 10, and Jesus answered her. He said, if you knew the gift of God and who it is that asks you for a drink, you would have asked him, and he would have given you living water. And what this means is, Old Testament back in the day referred to thirsting for God as you would thirst for own water. See, this woman came to the well. She was not only thirsty for real water, but she was thirsty. I'm not talking about the thirsty that y'all talk about. You know, your boy's thirsty, your girl's thirsty. You know, I'm not talking about that kind of thirsty. She was coming thirsty for a different reason. She was coming thirsty because her whole life had been basically just covered up in all this stuff, and it just sucked everything out of her life, and she had nothing. She was dry. She was dry as a well could be. And so Jesus met her right where she was at, and he claimed to be the Messiah because he could bring that water that she needed. He could help her out. In verses 13 through 14, we move on, and it says this. It says, Jesus answered, everyone who drinks this water will be thirsty again. But whoever drinks the water I give them will never thirst indeed. The water I give them will become in them a spring of water welling up into eternal life. And there's a lot of physical things that parallel spiritual things in our life. We hunger and we thirst, and we do that not only in our physical self, but also in our spiritual self. A lot of you tonight at some point in your life, if you haven't already, you will. You will be spiritually hungry and you will be spiritually thirsty. And you may just be that person tonight. And if you know that person before and God filled you, you know exactly what I'm talking about. When you get filled by God's love and His grace and His mercy and His forgiveness, you love it. You want more of it. It's like an all-you-can-eat buffet. You'll take anything you can get from it. It don't matter. All you can get. You want more of it, and you're not ashamed of it, and you're not afraid to talk about it. See, when God came into my life and when Jesus forgave me of my sins, I wasn't ashamed of it. I told everybody I could tell. And anytime something goes on in my life that I want to celebrate, I tell people. Not because I'm better than somebody, not because I'm bragging, just because I want to be real. Because we're all about being real, right? And sometimes we want to be real about the wrong things. I'm telling you, it's right to be real about the good things. And the good things are this. Jesus loved you enough to die on the cross, forgive you of your sins, and say, hey, it's okay to not be okay. I still got your back. That's what He's saying. That's what He told this lady. He says, I got you. I'm here to give you a water that will make you want more and more. Not just a water from a well. Verse 15, the woman said to him, Sir, give me this water so that I won't get thirsty and have to keep coming here to draw water. See, he got her attention. Give me some of that water. If that's what you said, I want some of that. You know? I mean, there's one thing about drinking tea. There's another thing about drinking sweet tea. And y'all know what I'm talking about. There's a difference between tea and sweet tea. No, Jesse. Sweet tea means it is so sweet that if you needed to, you could hook an IV into your arm and survive off of it. That's how good it is. Like you can flow off of it. I mean, sweet tea. Like, literally, I love sweet tea. When I drink a cup of true sweet tea, I smile. Because it's good stuff, y'all. You know, I love macaroni and cheese. But my wife fixes a mean crock pot macaroni and cheese. And if you've ever ate crock pot macaroni and cheese, oh my gosh. I mean, it'll put a hurting on you. And you can't wait. You count down to the days when you can eat some more of it. So this is what I'm telling you. This woman, she got her attention. Her radar went up. Okay, I want some of this. She had thought that when she came to get water, that she could have to go back to that well every day, which she probably did. But she was interested in this message. And this was the case for a lot of people sometimes. And I wonder sometimes, do we accept the message for the wrong reasons? He didn't come to take away the challenges, but to give her power to deal with her problems. He didn't come to make her life perfect. There's no such thing as a perfect life. And too many of us try to live a perfect life. And we try to be perfect for other people. And we try to be something that we're not. Listen, I ain't a perfect person. God loves me the way I am. And I'm thankful that I don't have to try to be perfect. And I don't have to try to stand here in front of you and look down on you and say, I'm more perfect than you. I'm not. I'm no better off than anybody else. I just think that sometimes we need to understand that, yeah, we have problems. It's okay to have problems. It's okay to have struggles. It's okay to have challenges. But that shouldn't be an excuse to keep growing in the gospel of Jesus Christ. That shouldn't be an excuse to hold us back. So Jesus meets her. He offers this to her. She didn't really understand it at first. And she knew there was something on the horizon here. So in verses 16 through 20, he told her, he says, look, go call your husband and come back. Okay, we switch gears. He starts getting specific. He said, go call your husband and come back. She says right immediately in verse 17, she says, I have no husband. Jesus said to her, you know what? You're right when you say you have no husband. The fact is, you have 5 husbands. Somebody said, oh my. And the man you now have is not even your real husband. What you have just said is quite true. So she went from Jesus calling out something, and she sit there and just tried to cover it up and get away from it real quick, like, I have no husband. Don't even go there. And he says, that's right, you don't have a husband. You don't even know what a husband is because you got 6 men floating in your life. You don't know what they are, who they are, and what they really mean to you. So here's the deal. Jesus not only sit there and said, I got something for you that can help you have a life-changing experience, but you need to be real with yourself, and you need to admit there's some stuff you got to fix. And having 6 husbands, kind of an issue. And she probably had an issue with the fact of she didn't know exactly how to feel about herself, so she needed that many opinions to make her feel halfway decent about herself. Maybe that was the case that had to happen. Maybe that was the case that she was struggling with. And probably for a fact, I can be safe to say she probably didn't know what true love was. So Jesus sit there, and he called her out. And she said, "Sir, I can see that you are a prophet. Our ancestors worshipped on this mountain, but you Jews claim that the place where we must worship is in Jerusalem." So he revealed that he knew her private life. She wanted to quickly change the subject. Because see, this is what happens. We get uncomfortable with the truth. You know the reason why a lot of people are afraid to come to church, afraid to go to youth groups anywhere, afraid to do a lot of stuff, is because they don't want to deal with truth. And you say, "How can you say that, Lee?" Because you just said that nobody's perfect, yeah, you're right, nobody's perfect. But here's the thing. Isn't it funny that the reasons that you don't come somewhere or go somewhere or involved somewhere, it's not really got nothing to do with anybody there. It's got everything to do with you. Because if there was no problems in your life, you should be the first one in and the last one to leave if there's no problems. I'm just speaking from the reality of it. And the fact of the matter is this, is that if you sit there and say, "Hey, I can't come because I feel nervous." Like literally, there's people that I come in contact with out there in that world that can't even stand close to me. They get nervous from me. I don't even do nothing. I think, "Man, do I stink? My breath bad? What's the deal?" They don't even come near me. You know why? Because they're scared. Because they're scared I might ask a dangerous question like, "So how you doing?" And they'll be like, "Don't ask me that question, man. Do not ask me that question, because that question can open up 1,000 doors that I don't have no locks for, and we just want to do that. We don't want to deal with that tonight." And I'm thinking, man, it's just a simple question. But maybe there is a lot to that answer to that question. And maybe there's a lot to the fact that maybe our problems are not really so much people or things, it's just us. We can't get out of the way of ourselves. This woman had the same problem. Jesus called her out on something, and she quickly changed the subject. She got on something else. She got talking about worship. "Well, we go and worship here, and we do this." So this is what Jesus does. In verse 21 and 24, he says, "Woman, believe me, a time is coming when you will worship the Father, neither on this mountain nor in Jerusalem. You Samaritans worship what you do not know. We worship what we do know." Ooh, Jesus. Talking about getting real. He just flat out told her, he said, "You're worshiping things that you don't even have a clue about. We're worshiping things that we know about." He called her out again. "For salvation is from the Jews, and yes, a time is coming, and now has come when the true worshipers will worship the Father in spirit and in truth." There's that word again, in truth. "For there every kind of worshipers the Father seeks. God is spirit, and his worshipers must worship in the spirit and in truth." She brought up where to worship as a distraction, as a change of subject. It was basically like a smoke screen that she was trying to hide behind. And she was trying to keep Jesus from her deepest need. Jesus said that the location was not an important deal as much as the attitude. See, worship is an attitude, and it's an attitude of your life and your heart. Worship is not just about music. It's not about singing or playing songs. Worship is a lifestyle. Worship is an attitude. You live your life in a life of worship. You act out of worship. It's an attitude. It's a pursuit. It's a chase to want more and more of God each day. To go to that spiritual buffet and never be thirsty, never be hungry again. He's done so much for me, y'all, but I ain't satisfied. I need more. I need it every day. I'm not a one-shot pony. I need more and more of it. I need more of his love. I need for him to sit there and say, "Lee, what you need today?" And I mean to go right to him and be straight honest with him. "This is what's going on, God. Show me what to do. Show me where to go." And I need him to pour it into me. I need more and more of it, y'all. And this woman, she needed a ton. It says God is spirit, meaning he's everywhere, not just physically held to one place. So it doesn't matter where you worship. You can worship here in church. You can worship out there in the parking lot. You can worship in your car. You can worship in your house. Hey, you might even get crazy and worship in your bathroom. Hold on. I'm serious now. You might sit there and be in the shower and just singing out the top of your lungs, or you may sit there and be praying out loud, because I've done that from time to time, and I'm sure the neighbor's thinking, "Huh?" And I'm out there pushing the mower, and I'm cutting grass, and I got my headset on, and I'm jamming out to my Jesus music, and I start singing, and my wife comes down from upstairs in our 2-story house, and she says, "Hey, buddy, what are you doing? I said, I'm singing, baby. She said, yeah, and everybody knows it. And I'm not ashamed of it. I'm like, man, this is speaking truth, man. I put my little iPod on the shuffle, and it's like one song after another, and I'm thinking, yes, yes, yes. And I'm fired up, and I want to let people know I'm not ashamed of it. And see, that's the biggest thing. See, we're so quick to brag about things and people that we're not ashamed of. We will post pictures. We will post statuses. We will do everything and anything to promote people and say, they're the cream of the crop. They're my bae. They're everything in the world. Whatever the case may be, we'll lift them up. We'll put them up so freaking high that we get a nosebleed because we can't even look that high. Listen to me. Don't shout me down while I'm preaching good. I'm telling you right now, if you're putting people higher than Jesus Christ, you have some problems. And you have some issues that are going on. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. I celebrate my wife and my family every day. You ask my youth group, there's never a time that I don't share, that I don't talk about my family or my wife. It's not because they're better than anybody else. It's not because they're better than anything else. It's because that's my family. I love them and they're my blessings, and God give it to me when I didn't deserve it, but He give it to me anyway. And I'm saying to myself, why me, Lord? Because I don't deserve that. He says, oh, yes, you do, because I love you so much. And you ask, say, hey, you want a wife? I got you a wife, dog, smoking hot wife. I'm like, yes, sir. I'll take that. I said, I want to be a great daddy. I want to have beautiful children. Bam, I got beautiful children. Come here, baby. Come here. Look at this. This is my beautiful 6-year-old. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to me. This is my beautiful 6-year-old. And this is something I want you to understand. Does everybody have beautiful children? Yeah, all y'all mamas, they say, oh, my baby's pretty too. Look, they even prettier when they got older. Even if they don't shave, they're still pretty. Listen, this is my beautiful blessing. And I'm going to tell you something. I celebrate her every day. You know why? Because I don't deserve her. But God allowed me the opportunity to be her daddy. And the first thing she's going to say when we get in the car, why'd you do that, Daddy? But here's the deal. The woman said this at the end of this scripture. She says, hey, by the way, and she's still kind of out there a little bit. She said, hey, by the way, I know that Messiah called Christ. I know He's coming. When He comes, He will explain everything to us. And I almost kind of feel like Jesus I don't think Jesus smirked, but I almost kind of felt like on the inside He wanted just to let go this like really cool smile. And He sits there and He comes back to her and He says, hey, the one that you're speaking to, hey, that's me. And I can imagine her face probably, if her mouth was detachable, it probably fell in the well. But I imagine her face just stretched out. I imagine her face was just so crazy looking because she's like, wow, I just sit there and made that bold statement that I'm going to wait for Jesus to come and give me all the answers I need. And the whole time she's sitting there having a face-to-face, one-on-one, living, breathing, acting conversation with the one and only Jesus Christ. She didn't even know. She was waiting on Him, and He was right there. And He's right there in front of you every day. And He's right there in front of me every day. And here's the thing. A lot of you, He's staring right at you every day, but you don't recognize Him either. And maybe at one time you recognized Him and you knew Him and you talked to Him pretty regular, but maybe you don't do it so much anymore. Maybe you don't want to even do it so much to the point where you're kind of ashamed of it. Maybe you're kind of scared. Maybe you're like, okay, I had my little Jesus high and I'm good right now, so I don't have to do anything else, right? Right? I don't have to do anything else. Let me tell you something. I've said this before and I'm going to say it again. We don't have to have more Christians. We need more disciples. I don't need to see more people taking a label and say, that's good enough for me. I need people to say, look, I want more. I want a life that is following, that is serving, that is living for Jesus Christ. And being a true disciple of Jesus Christ is just that. It's not just a label, it's a lifestyle. It's an attitude. It's action. It's talking the talk and walking the walk. And there's some of you here tonight that's been talking and talking, walking and walk, and I'll tell you what, God is just on fire for what you're doing. And you're sitting there and you're wondering if you're doing everything the right way, and you're wondering, you're just waiting for somebody to say something bad. Because that's what we do, right? We wait for somebody to say something bad. We wait for somebody to cut us down so we don't have to do it anymore. And I'm telling you, you need to keep doing what you're doing because it's working. You need to keep doing what you're doing. You need to keep speaking the truth. You need to keep living the life. You need to keep bragging about the good things in your life. You need to tell people, look, I'm not judging you. I ain't a judge. I ain't perfect. I'm not telling you something just for the sake of telling you something. I'm telling you, you're making some stupid decisions, and you keep making the same stupid decisions over with, and you're getting mad at me for saying you're making a stupid decision. Hey, guess what? Here's a clue. Stop making the stupid decisions. That's just pretty simple. It's pretty easy. It's not hard, but we make it so hard. We make it so complicated. We blame everybody else. This woman wanted to blame everybody else for her problems. She wanted to blame her 6 guy friends for her struggles. She wanted to put everybody else in front. She wanted to talk about the way people worship just to get the attention off of her. Jesus said it's an attitude of the heart. He said, I want to give you something that can get you focused on the right thing. And even though he sat there face to face with her, she didn't even know who he was. He still met her where she was at. And why is that important? Because it's no matter where you're at in life, no matter what you're going through, Jesus is always available to meet you wherever he needs to meet you at. There's been times when I've been in the car driving and I've had stuff on my spirit and I just had to stop the car, put it in the parking lot, go do something. I had to sit there and stop because it was just on me so much. There's been times when I couldn't sleep at night. There's been times when, I've questioned and I've even doubted God himself. Saying, God, I know you do big things, but I don't think you can do that for me. But you know what? It's okay. Because God gets doubted every day in every kind of way possible. And he still shows up to work every day. He shows up to do work in your life if you let him. And not only that, he shows up to help you do work in your life. You say, I just want to make a difference, Lee. Well, you can make a difference if you trust him enough, as much as you put trust in other things and other people. So tonight, as I told you earlier, people have opinions, right? There's probably people that you know have an opinion about you being here tonight. There's probably people that you know are wondering where you're at right now. You're not at your normal Friday night position. You're not at your normal Friday night place. Let me tell you something. It's okay. This is where you needed to be tonight. Now, here's the important thing you need to understand. Coming in one way, it's okay. But if you need to walk through those doors a different way, you need to do it tonight. That's just really simple. There's a reason why you came, whether it was just make an appearance so people can say, oh, he showed up or she showed up, make an appearance to say your boyfriend, girlfriend quit nagging you the rest of the weekend, show up just because, hey, well, there's nothing else going on, I'm broke, I can't go eat, so I need to go get some free pizza. I mean, serious. It could be all kind of reasons. I'm just being real. People hate when I'm real. I'm just being real with you. There's a lot of reasons why people come. But here's the thing. Coming in and leaving, how are you going to go out? Are you going to go out the same way? Happy, content, miserable? Happy, content, maybe still confused? Happy, content, maybe trying to still blame the responsibilities on other people? Maybe, just maybe tonight you got something that you're dealing with and you said, Lee, I just need to let go of this and I don't know how, I don't know what to do. I need to do something. I'm telling you something. You can do it very easily tonight. You can let go of it here and leave it right here. You can leave it right here. You don't have to take it home with you. You don't. We make decisions every day. We make decisions how to live this life that we live. And God gives us that freedom. I just challenge you tonight to not keep abusing that freedom. Just because you have the ability to make a decision doesn't mean you need to keep making the wrong ones. And if there's people in your life that are not helping you grow or be a better disciple, not just another Christian, if there are people that are bringing you down, maybe you need to say, maybe it's not best for me right now until I get my stuff worked out. We talk about all the time about being real. And a lot of times, Jesse, take that up there for me. A lot of times, good job, Jesse, thank you, brother. Jesse does a great job. A lot of times we think about things, and this woman came to the well, and she was just coming for water, just like every day. She's just coming for water, that's all. Just coming for water. I got a feeling that she left with something so much more. She had a one-on-one, face-to-face, life-changing encounter. And I'm telling you, and I'm being real when I tell you this, we don't do these kind of things just for show purposes or anything like that. There's been people that's been praying for you guys tonight, whoever was coming. We didn't know who was coming. We just praying. Praying right where those seats are where you're sitting at. Praying for whoever was going to be sitting in those seats. And I believe that some of you tonight have the opportunity to make real decisions that matter for a change. It could be as simple as just saying, I need to let go of some stuff just so I can move on to better things in life because it's holding me back. Maybe it's as simple as saying, I need to forgive somebody. I need to stop being so bitter because life's too short to be angry all the time. Because I don't know about you, but I sure don't like being around bitter people all the time. Maybe there's something going on in your life and you're thinking, man, I don't really know. Maybe I am just another Christian. Maybe I need to step it up and try to be a better disciple. And I'm telling you, you can do that tonight. Or maybe you're just here tonight and you have no freaking idea what we're talking about. And you're just wondering, what in the world do I need to do to have a meeting with this Jesus? I'm telling you, he can meet you right where you're at. He can meet you down here at this altar. He can meet you before you even leave this place. If you let him. We talked about opinions. You know, the only reasons when opinions matter is when we let them matter. And too many times we let the worst and bad opinions matter to us. God's opinion is, I love you so much. I love you just the way you are. It's okay to not be okay. But let's start new and let's start fresh. And let me show you how to love better in your own life. And let me show you how to live your life. And the other people will be saying, man, something's different about her. Something different about him. And maybe instead of putting people up here or chasing people as hard as we chase things, because, boy, we'll chase things in a heartbeat. We'll chase guys, we'll chase girls, we'll chase money, we'll chase clothes, we'll chase anything we can chase just because we got to chase something. Here's a good thing about chasing after God. All those other things and all those other people, sometimes they run away from you. And guess why? You keep chasing. You chase after God, he ain't going to run away from you. He's going to stand like this. And you can just run right into him where he's at. So I'm going to ask a couple people to come up. We get ready to do a song here. And we're going to have a special time here, just a time to reflect, just a time to pray, just a time to take care of some stuff tonight, because I think it's an opportunity for you to do that. And I don't want to miss an opportunity for you to take that chance tonight. Maybe you want to come down to this altar and take some time just to pray. You can do that. If you want to come with somebody else, if somebody else doesn't want to come, you can do that. Maybe you need to swallow your pride tonight and not be afraid of what somebody might say or do or how they may look at you. Status is just what it is. It's just a status. It don't mean nothing. It's temporary. We're talking about life-changing tonight. I had to do it too. I had to make some tough choices in my life to change my life, and I'm glad I did, man. And I've been blessed for it. So tonight I'm going to ask you to pray with me. And whatever you're going through, I want you to take the opportunity tonight to deal with it. If you want to come down and pray, I'll be glad to pray with you. You can pray on your own. We're going to have a song being played. It's a very powerful song. And the rest of the songs tonight that we're going to be doing are very important songs, and I want you to listen to it. And if you're okay tonight, by the way, and everything's going great, let me tell you something. Be happy for a change. Be satisfied. Be content with that. Hey, don't worry because If you're happy and nobody else is happy, then that means you got to step back or not. No, you keep being happy. If it bugs people, so what? They'll get over it. Keep being happy. Keep loving Jesus and keep living your life for him. Don't slow down. So I'm asking you guys to stand tonight. We're going to pray. And tonight, as everybody's heads bowed and eyes closed, and as we sit here and take this opportunity, I want you guys to think about where you're at. And it's not so much about the person next to you. It's not so much about the person behind you or in front of you. It's not about the person you came with. It's not about the person that you're going to probably take a selfie with later on tonight. It's not about the person that's your bestie. It's not about anybody else. It's just about you one-on-one with God right now. So everybody, I ask you to bow your head, close your eyes, and we're going to pray. And if you're here tonight and you're struggling with anything at all and you need to take care of it, now is a good time to do it. If you're here tonight and you said, Lee, I really honestly cannot admit to you that I know this Jesus that you talked about tonight. I can honestly say that if I thought I was saved, that was one thing. I don't know. Maybe I need to get it right. Maybe you're here tonight and you're saved and you know you're saved and you believe 110%. I'm for a fact saved, but you're still struggling with some stuff. You can handle it tonight. Maybe tonight you got some things that you've been holding on to that you need forgiveness for. You just don't want to let it go because you're scared. I'm telling you, you can do it tonight. So I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to pray for all that. And what I want you to do is if you have a decision, if you have something that's going on, I want you to let me know. I want you to let somebody know. But don't leave this place without talking to somebody. We got some adults in the back. Be glad to talk with you. Be glad to listen and pray for you. So let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, Lord, I thank you for this opportunity tonight that we have to come into your house. I thank you for every single one of these young people tonight that you brought to this place, God. And Lord, as I'm sitting there tonight and I'm looking out there, Lord, I see a lot of different faces. Faces I know, faces I don't know. I see faces with a lot of questions. I see faces with a lot of joy. I see faces with a lot of whatever. And God, I know there's a lot of stuff going through the minds and hearts of the people tonight. But Lord, I just pray right now that you would meet people where they're at. And that for once, maybe this week even, that they would just stop running from the truth and just be honest with themselves. Maybe they just need you to love on them some tonight. God, I pray that this altar down here in front of me, Lord, that it's open for them. I pray, Lord, that they would flood this altar. If they are struggling, I pray they would hit this altar and that people would come and be able to pray with them and encourage them tonight. God, let us not be ashamed of who you are and what you can do for us. Lord, I'm thankful that we're not okay a lot of times. I just pray tonight that nobody leaves this place without knowing you, God. For these things we pray in Jesus' name. Amen. As the song's being played, if you guys want to come down, you're welcome to come down. If you want to come down and pray, you need somebody to come with you, we got people that will come down and pray with you. Take advantage of the opportunity tonight and listen to the words of this song as they sing.
All these pieces broken and scattered, in mercy gathered, mended and whole, empty-handed but not forsaken. I've been set free. I've been set free. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Oh, whoa, I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Oh, I can see you now. Oh, I can see the love in your eyes, laying yourself down, rising up the broken to life. our failures, you take our weakness. You set your treasures in jars of clay. So take this heart, Lord, I'll be your vessel, the world to see your life in me. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. Oh, oh, I once was lost, but now I'm found. Was blind, but now I see. Oh, I can see you now. Oh, I can see the love in
worship. We want these people to stay praying tonight. I want you to be lifting them up where you're at. Maybe if you have the opportunity, maybe you need to settle something tonight. There's people that'll pray for you. And we're just going to ask you guys if you want to come down. We're going to finish up the rest of the night and worship. And I want you to truly worship tonight. I want you to worship. And if you are dealing with something tonight, you need to listen to these songs. We just talked about being broken. We're fixing to talk about how much God loves us. And I want you to celebrate that tonight. So you're welcome to come down as we continue to worship tonight. You guys know these next couple of songs. So I want you to take that time tonight. Maybe you need to stand with somebody tonight. Maybe somebody who's been hurting. They need to have some support with them tonight. Maybe you need to stand with them. Maybe if you want to show your boyfriend or girlfriend how much you really love them, maybe you need to pray with them tonight. Maybe y'all need to pray about what's going on in your lives. Whatever the case may be, I want y'all to listen and worship tonight.
How he loves us. grace in his eyes. If grace is an ocean, we're all sinking. So heaven meets earth like a sloppy wet kiss. My heart turns violently inside of my chest. I don't have time to maintain these regrets when I think about the way.
And we're going to go on to this next song. It's called Lead Me to the Cross.
Savior, I come. Why
You know, we sing these songs and sometimes we kind of get caught up and we don't realize exactly what we're singing. And sometimes we take them for granted. And tonight there's some real struggles that are being dealt with tonight. And you may not be able to see it or feel it where you're at, and that's okay. But I'm going to tell you right now that God's doing stuff in this place tonight. And we should be excited about that because you know what? Maybe for a long time he's been wanting to do it and somebody finally let him in. He's been sitting there waiting on the front porch a long time and somebody finally let him in to do some stuff. I love that song we just sang because it's all about the cross. If it wasn't for the cross, we wouldn't be here. And because he died on the cross for our sins and he forgives us every day and he's got grace every day, that's amazing, by the way. We can celebrate that. So I encourage you before you leave, if you got anything that you need to share, if you want to come to me, I'll be here. I'll be down front. I'm on Twitter. I'm on Facebook. I'm on anything that'll have me. So you can find me if you want to shoot me something, let me know. I love to know so I can pray for you. It's not because I need to know your business. I just want to pray for you, man. Maybe somebody needs to pray with you. Maybe you just don't know who to ask. Well, I definitely can help you, and there's people here that can help you too. So I want you guys to do that. I'm thankful for you guys tonight for coming. We got one more song we're going to close out with. This is kind of one of our little theme songs here at Grace, and it talks about that amazing grace. And so if you know it, I want you to sing along with us, and let's go out with a bang. And if you don't know it, hopefully you'll know it by the end, and you'll be wanting to sing it again. So here we go.
And this is one you can put your hands together on, okay? Everybody clapping their hands. I'm glad you do, Jesse. This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. That you would take my place. That you would bear my cross. You laid down your life. That I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me.
So much stronger, the King of glory.
grace.
This is amazing grace. This is unfailing love. That you would take my place. That you would bear my cross. You laid down your life. That I would be set free. Oh, Jesus, I sing for all that you've done for me. This is amazing grace.
All right. Thank you guys so much for coming tonight. Before you guys leave out tonight, I want to pray. Hey. Fogel. Hey, those special effects brought to you by Fogle. Fogle. He's just an electric kind of guy. All right. So before you guys go tonight, hey, there's some adults that are in the back that help serve and help do some things tonight to help me out tonight, cleaning and all kind of good stuff. Let them know how much you appreciate them. Hey, you see that guy up there in the crow's nest? His name is Ben. Give him some love. Yeah, Brother Todd somewhere around here. Todd helped out tonight as well. And before you guys go, let's pray, and then I hope to see you guys real soon. Just so you know, there will be a fifth quarter at First Baptist Church on October the 31st. So just let you guys know about that. Let's pray tonight. Dear Jesus, we love you. We thank you for your amazing grace. We thank you for tonight. We thank you for the hearts that you worked in tonight. We thank you for the things that you're doing right now as we speak and that you're going to continue to do when we leave this place tonight. God, we love you so much. We thank you for this opportunity to worship you with all our heart and all our mind and all our soul tonight. And may we go out these doors, change people, living for the truth, speaking the truth of who you are. In Jesus' name we pray. Everybody said? Amen. Amen.